Hey guys, it's Bad Luck TCG here, and today we're going to go over my first deck tech ever with you guys. Theros Beyond Death has just released recently, and I've been getting into competitive Magic. Now the standard deck that I decided to play is Mono Black Devotion. Alright, to start this video out, obviously we have 19 basic lands. We are also running 4 Castle Lochthwains. So Castle Lochthwain enters the battlefield tapped unless you own a swamp. You can tap it for 1 black mana, or tap it, pay 2 black, and 1 generic to draw a card and lose life equal to the cards in your hand. Next, we're also going to play 1 Witch's Cottage. Sorry for the light in there. But yeah, we're going to play 1 Witch's Cottage. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control at least 3 swamps. And when it enters untapped, you can put a creature from your graveyard to the top of your deck. Now for our 1 drop, I've decided to play Knight of the Ebon Legion. It's a 1/2 Vampire Knight that costs 1 black mana. You can pay 2 generic and a black, and the Knight of the Ebon Legion gets +3/+2 green dash touch until the end of turn. And at the beginning of your end turn, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. So I like this card over Gutter Bones just because it's a better attacker, and also it kind of deters your enemy from attacking, or your opponent, I should say, not your enemy. But it deters your opponent from attacking because you can give it Death Touch. So that's just my opinion on it. A lot of people like to run Gutter Bones because it works really well with the sacrifice mechanic that this deck kind of likes to do. Next, we have Agonizing Remorse. It costs 1 black and a generic, so it's a sorcery. And target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it or a card from their graveyard, exile that card, and you lose 1 life. And this card is just good removal. It's good to, you get to see what's in their hand. You can choose which card you want to remove from that, or if there's nothing in your hand you like and there's something in the graveyard that you're looking at, you can exile it from the graveyard instead. So it's just overall a pretty good card in this deck. Next up is Timurit, Chosen from Death. It costs 2 black mana. It's a legendary enchantment creature demigod, and Timurit's toughness is equal to its devotion to black. You can pay 1 and a black to exile up to 2 target cards from graveyard. You can gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. This card is really used for its devotion because it's 2 black mana, so it helps out devotion a lot. But it's also a pretty good early blocker, so that's another thing it has going for it. Next, we're playing Yark Finlurker. We got 4 of these. It's 2 black mana to cast. It's a horror creature. When Yark Finlurker enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand. And then you can pay 2 generic and a black, and Yark Finlurker gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This card's good in the deck. A big part of it's because of the devotion. It makes your player or your opponent sacrifice a card in their hand, basically. And also, it works really well with some of the cards we're going to talk about later on in this video. Next up, we're playing 4 Woe Striders. They cost 2 generic and a black. They're a creature horror. They're 3/2. When Woe Strider enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 white goat creature token. You can use it to sacrifice a creature and scry 1, and it also has an escape for 3 generic and 2 black, and then you gotta exile 4 cards from your graveyard. This card's good because it basically creates either a chump blocker or something that you can just sacrifice to it to scry if you wanted to. But also, it kind of works with the deck in general because some of the cards in the deck, once you get a certain other card, you want to sacrifice. So it's basically a free sacrifice. It gives you a goat token for free, and then it's black, so it helps with devotion. But the big thing about this card is the sacrifice outlet it gives you. We're running 3 Iara, First of Lochthwains. It costs 3 black mana. It's a legendary creature, Elf Noble. When Iara, First of Lochthwain, or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And if you notice, it says any black creature, so tokens work. And you can sacrifice another black creature and draw a card. So Iara is really good in this deck. It has 3 devotion to black, so that's really good. Anytime we play any kind of creature, including tokens, which do come out a pretty good amount of time in this deck, it's going to hit your opponent for 1 and you're going to gain a life. So it's life gain. It also has that sacrifice outlet. So like you play a West Strider, and you have that goat, you can use IR or sacrifice and draw a card, so that's good value too. I also wanted to play 3 Midnight Reapers. It's 2 generic and a black for a zombie knight. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Um, like I said, we're going to be sacrificing creatures in this deck a pretty good amount. So Midnight Reaper is really good card draw that this deck doesn't normally have. So I thought it would be a really good addition to this deck at 3. Next we have 4 Murderous Riders. They are a zombie knight. They cost 2 black and 1 generic. And they also have the adventure, which is also 2 black and 1 generic. You can destroy target creature or planeswalker, and then you lose 2 life. So this is really, really good. It's a really good card for destroying like big, nasty creatures your opponent has or scary planeswalkers. But also, after that, you can cast it with a life link, and it gives you 2 black mana towards your devotion, which is good. And then if you decide to sacrifice it, you can create a token of it. That's a 1/1, or you'll see, but yeah, 1/1 token of it, and then it goes to the bottom of your graveyard. So it's not the graveyard, but the library. So it's pretty good, especially for destroying big creatures or planeswalkers that you don't want on the field. Next, we're playing 4 Midnight Shepherds, or Nightmare Shepherds. My bad. They're enchantment creature demons. They cost 2 black and 2 generic. They're flying, and whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, yeah, you can exile it. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of the creature, except it's 1/1. It's a nightmare in addition to its other types. So basically, you can exile a creature that got destroyed or you sacrificed, and you bring it back to the field. So you could play a Woe Strider, and then like sacrifice one of your Finlurkers, and then you basically bring the exact same thing out. It's just a token, and then your opponent mills their hand to 1 more. So that's really good. And also, this is a big part of our win condition. Here we have the Grey Merchant of the Asphodel. This is our big win condition of the whole deck. Basically, it's really good because obviously we're working to get in our devotion as high as possible. And then you play Grey Merchant, and you hit your target or your opponent for whatever your devotion is, and then you gain that much life. So normally what you want to do is you want to get your devotion high. You want to play a Nightmare Shepherd and like an IR or a Woe Strider. And you can throw out your Nightmare Shepherd. You can throw out your Grey Merchant. It triggers. You deal damage to your opponent. You gain life. And then you take your IR or Woe Strider and you sacrifice it to it. And then a 1/1 token of it gets created by Nightmare Shepherd, and you hit your opponent again, and then you gain life again. So it's really, really strong at 4, and basically this is how you win games with this deck. It's actually kind of crazy how powerful this can be. So you have like 2 of them in your hand, and then you have like 6 devotion to black. You just play it. You hit them for 6, you gain 6. You sacrifice it, hit them for 6, you gain 6. The next turn you basically win unless they can stop it. So it's kind of like crazy, and that's the big win condition of this whole deck. Now this deck does have a couple weaknesses. The main one is definitely Hushbringer. So just keep that in mind if you decide to play something like this. Side deck for it or whatever you need to do. But I can't personally wait to get out here and kick some butt with this deck. I know it's going to be good. I love mono black, and that's what I've been playing here recently. So whenever I found out this card was coming back, I got super, super excited. So yeah, but I just wanted to show you guys what I was playing and try to get back into YouTube. I'm going to get a fan for my phone, so if you don't like how shaky and stuff it is, then it's going to get better, I promise. I ordered one, it's just not here yet, and I didn't really want to wait to make this because I want to get back into it. But yeah, you guys have a good day. Like and subscribe and comment. Give me some pointers on how I can do better. But yeah, just have a good day.